Finding out which games on the Play Store has the option to be played with a controller is almost an impossibility. Finding out which games are even worth to pay for and on which devices to play is an even bigger problem. If that is precisely what you're having troubles with for a while, well, here's our top 20 paid games ready to go on both platforms with full controller support. Let's go. At number 1, been sitting on the Play Store since half a decade ago, we've got over here Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. This actually comes from the same folks who made possible Doom 3, the BFG, Half-Life 2, and even Portal on mobile devices, which is just, in case you didn't know, NVIDIA Lightspeed Studios. Guys, there's one thing you want to keep in mind with this one over here. Revengeance does not work on just any mobile device. It's actually rated so low for a reason. For me personally, it works perfect with my Xbox controller, and it's literally just a console port on a mobile device. I mean, I don't even know how it works. Coming up behind that at number 2, we've got over here Riptide GP. I couldn't really tell how long I've actually been waiting to include this in one of my lists. Sitting on the Play Store with almost 1 million downloads and taking you down for $3 only. If you do like racing games with supernatural elements or just unique games in nature, Riptide delivers that in a minute and always makes you even keep coming back for more. This game's about 100 megabytes of space in nature, it's playable offline and even in split screen.
My daughter. Hi, Amanda. I got into trouble.
And number 3, quick mention just so we could get to something more affordable, so to speak. Alien Isolation, a damn near perfect mobile port of one of just the best console horror games ever made. It's sitting on the Play Store in some regions with a 4.5, but in the US it's a 4.2. This is a story-focused atmospheric first-person survival horror. Alien Isolation takes you down for $15 and about 11 gigabytes of space requirement. This game is divine in visual, got an incredible sound design, and it pretty much works with any controller.
Repeat, we need help urgently.
That's Rachel Amber. Something happened to her.
The town is going to get wiped out by a tornado.
And number 4 is the award-winning story-based adventure hit Life is Strange, which is just by far the best mobile game on the platform if we're talking story and engagement here. Life is Strange, the first game, however, is available exclusively on Android devices. It comes with a full controller support and all new photo mode, customization options, and more. This game's free in its first episode, however, but the rest you could actually playable with a controller only. No way in hell I would recommend this one with touchscreen play, as it's just the most awful, but with a controller, we've got over here PlayStation 4 game only on cell phones. Guys, for those of you who missed it, Pascal's Wager is a Dark Souls inspired action RPG single player, and even though it's been almost 3 years since release, to this day I cannot even find a better Souls-inspired game on cell phones. Got legitimate graphics here, great story, the voice acting kinda sucks a little, and it takes you down for $5. At number 6, we've got over here SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Technically speaking, just a console game ported in the finest manner possible to mobile devices. Now, for those of you who haven't played the original game like me and just worried about the replay value over here, first off, I must just say that this game doesn't really know any age for an action platformer. And for some reason, even on the highest graphical performance, you won't even lag for a bit on any phone that I've ever come across. This game's about 2 gigabytes of space in nature, and it plays offline. Now, Dragon Quest Builders came out precisely last year and then re-released globally only this time, roughly 3 months ago. Now, this is for those of you who are new, an open-world story-based action RPG, literally sitting on the Play Store with a 5 out of 5, and I'd have to say in every way possible, the single best and most visually advanced game out of the whole Dragon Quest series, on any handheld devices. There's a downside though, this game is not cheap at all, it'll actually take you down for $35. So it's a pass. With or without a controller, hands down the biggest racing game in every freaking way possible on the Google Play right now. That's actually been almost 3 years straight since it literally came out. Guys, if you do care about quality, Great Autosport over here gives you nothing short of spectacular. It works incredibly well with almost any mobile device, and in my opinion, it's just a perfect example of how a game should be ported to mobile devices if you do like cars in general. Don't even think twice about the $10 price tag over here. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, on the other hand, is probably the most popular mobile game that comes with controller support. Hell, this is a paid game and it's downloaded over 1 million times, if not even more, globally. Great game, it works just like the PC port with a controller. In fact, it's meant to be played with one, except occasionally on some devices it doesn't really have that free aim thing when you hold a gun. Other than that, gives it 10 out of 10 and works pretty much with any device. At number 10 we have, and I've actually mentioned this one quite a bit, something called Thumper. This is a rhythm-based, not racing but auto-moving, like subway surf kind of racing, albeit in a totally different universe, and also / horror game. Frankly, the most psychedelic game that I can think of, and one that's literally fine-tuned to perfection. This game is playable offline, playable with a controller, won't even need more than 100 megabytes of space to work, and takes you down at least a couple of playthroughs to be done with it. 10 out of 10, give this one a shot. At number 11 we have, just a quick mention over here, for most fans of Metroidvania and pixel art games, something called Dandra. Trials of Fear Edition over here is single-handedly the most off-the-radar, underrated pixel art game that I can think of, period. This game comes with a pretty good replay value all the way. I'd have to say it almost feels free in nature for the content that it provides, and even smoother in nature compared to even Dead Cells. The game takes you down for 400 megabytes of space and about $4. At number 12 we've got Titan Quest Legendary Edition. So if you're a Diablo fan, period, but prefer to have your loot a tad more often and have an even more rewarding gameplay, well, first off, you will be just shocked at how much content there is in this game, because it actually includes all of the DLCs and technical updates ever since the PC version came out. With graphic and audio overhauls, it works perfect with any controller, I've never heard about any complaints, and it takes you down for 3 gigabytes of space. Rush Rally Origin, I'm not gonna lie, my favorite game of the day over here. I'm pretty sure nothing will beat this one's gameplay in nature. For me though, as I'm a classic fanatic, and long story short, if you've ever played the old 3D Realms Death Rally, that's a top-down racing shooter, something action game, this game is way more fun than that, with its main focus on racing. It takes you down for $5, and if you're not sure, there is actually a free demo for it available on the Play Store as well. I'm pretty sure at some point you've heard about this one, but just in case. Limbo is a platform horror survival by the old Playdead Games, who also came up with the game Inside. By the way, Inside is still in the making for Android devices, so we don't know when that's gonna happen. However, Limbo is actually available for all mobile devices and taking you down for about 100 megabytes of space only. $4 in price and over 1 million downloads already just speaks for itself over here. With Limbo, I've actually never heard of a bug, and it works with any controller. Game's a 10 out of 10. Coming up behind that at number 15, we've got the one and only award-winning cinematic action shooter, Max Payne Mobile, which is just literally just a birthplace of all slow-mo elements in the media by Rockstar Games itself. Here's why you should buy Max Payne, guys, and don't even think twice. See, you cannot play Max Payne on PCs anymore, the first two games, because they were taken down even on Steam years ago. They are now fine-tuned in nature for the mobile devices. It works perfect with controllers, I don't even know how, and it takes you down for only $3. I mean, come on.
Hello, and welcome to the Aperture Science Computer-Aided Enrichment Center.
Sitting on the Play Store with a 4.8 out of 5 since roughly half a decade ago and over 500,000 downloads as a paid game, we've got over here Bridge Constructor Portal, which is to this day just the most fine-tuned in nature physics-based puzzle platform offline game on any platform, not just the mobile devices. Now, truth be told, this is not an easy game. It's pretty challenging, even in the middle of it, but if you want something addicting that makes you smart as you go and pretty good for children as well to make them, develop, you will not find a better game than this one, period.
Ah yes, we are going to have a lot of fun together.
At number 17 we have over here, once again, without a doubt, just the absolute best game to pick up and play with a controller, with or without your friends, and probably just the best almost $10 you'll ever spend on the Google Play. If you do enjoy fighting games though. Streets of Rage 4 has been around since May last year, sitting on both platforms with an almost 5 out of 5 with all of the DLCs released so far, and I've never heard of a bug with this game. First time I'm actually mentioning this one in a list. Honestly, I wasn't really sure if it's a good controller support game, but Oddworld New and Tasty is in fact does support Xbox and the PlayStation 4 controllers, but it is a little bit different in buttons if you were to compare it to the console version. Here's the thing, if you do have a PlayStation 4 or 5 controller, this game works divine on your phones with that, and whether if it will or will not bring back any nostalgia, New and Tasty over here is everything good about the Oddworld universe, and it's definitely worth the $5 price.
Bullet the Glucker. My whole life changed in just one day.
Now dance.
Moving on, we've got over here Crypt of the Necro Dancer. Personally over here dedicated half of my life to this one, the other half also to the Binding of Isaac on the PCs however, but legitimately just as good with the controller if you do have one on your Androids. Now this is, for those of you new, a rhythm-based platform and just one of the best of all time in music, action, story, maps, and the randomly generated system. If you do care for replay value, Crypt of the Necro Dancer over here takes you at least a whole month before putting it down in any way and still leaving room for more to come back for.
I have waited years to see the last of the Jedi fall before me.
And last but not least, we've got over here Star Wars KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic 2, the follow-up to the first KOTOR, and 5 years after the events of the award-winning original game. In short, a phenomenal. Let's just start with the fact that playing with a controller is now even better and easier than the console version back then. The graphics are overhauled, the voices are fine-tuned. There's one problem, however, this game will cost you $15, but if we're talking experience, replay value, and the nostalgia that it provides, that's actually worth.
The end of the Jedi is at hand.
I almost forgot. This mantle has been sitting on the Play Store since almost July last year, and it's been ever since regarded as the biggest survival top-down action game on the whole store. If you do like spending hours on top of hours without a care in the world, I'd have to say that this game delivers that specific thing in its easiest way possible and gives you the smoothest gameplay in nature in this specific genre. This game's almost 1 GB of space and taking you down for $10 US.